Subreddit, Country Folklore, Central Africa. Subreddit, Country Folklore, Angola, the Kishi. He only turned around once. I, 19F, was visiting family in a rural area in Angola. Everyone always joked about the Kishi, handsome man in front, hyena at the back. I didn't believe any of it. One evening, I was walking home just before dark when a guy started walking beside me. Clean clothes, soft voice, too friendly for a stranger. He knew my name. I assumed he was from the village. We walked together for maybe 5 minutes before I noticed something off. Every time I tried to walk slightly behind him, he'd subtly adjust so I stayed at his side. Like he didn't want me behind him. Then I dropped my phone, accidentally, just to get a better look. When I bent down and looked up, I saw it, not clearly, just enough. His back wasn't normal. It looked like something was breathing through his shirt, moving wrong, like ribs where ribs shouldn't be. He froze. Slowly, he turned his head halfway toward me and smiled. "Don't walk behind people at night," he said. I didn't wait. I ran. I could hear something running behind me too, but it didn't sound like feet. Dash dash dash. The man who knocked like my dad. I, 17F, was home alone. My dad works late, but he always knocks in a specific way, 3 quick taps, pause, then 1. At around 11 p.m., I heard it. Knock knock knock, pause, knock. Relieved, I went to the door, but something felt off. I checked the window first. No car. Still, I opened it slightly. A man stood there, not my dad, but he was smiling like he knew I expected someone else. "I think you're confused," I said, trying to close the door. He didn't move, just leaned closer and whispered, "Open the door properly." I did the knock right. I slammed it shut and locked everything. Subreddit, Country Folklore, Cameroon. He never let me walk behind him. I, 20F, was visiting my cousin in a quieter part of Cameroon for a few weeks. The area wasn't rural exactly, but once the sun went down, the streets emptied fast. One night, I decided to walk to a nearby shop before it closed. Halfway there, a man started walking beside me. He was, weirdly perfect. Clean clothes, calm voice, smiling just enough. He greeted me like he already knew me. "Walking alone at night isn't safe," he said. I laughed it off, but something about him felt rehearsed, like he practiced sounding normal. We kept walking, but every time I slowed down to let him pass ahead, he slowed too. If I sped up, he matched me, and whenever I shifted slightly behind him, he'd step sideways, blocking me. At first I thought I was imagining it. Then I tested it. I dropped my keys. They slid just behind his feet. For a second, he didn't move. Then very carefully, without turning fully around, he bent slightly and pushed the keys toward me with his foot. "Don't go behind people," he said quietly. That's when I noticed it. His shadow, under the streetlight, it didn't look human. It stretched wrong, like the back half had a snout. My stomach dropped. I grabbed my keys and forced a laugh, pretending nothing was wrong. "I actually forgot something at home," I said, turning around. He didn't follow immediately, but I heard something behind me after a few seconds. Not footsteps, something heavier, uneven. I didn't look back. Right before I reached my cousin's gate, I heard him one last time, much closer than he should have been. "You shouldn't have tried to see." I slammed the gate shut and locked it. When I looked through the bars, the street was empty, but something moved just beyond the line, low to the ground. Subreddit, Country Folklore, Central African Republic. Something sat on my chest. I, 18M, was staying with relatives in a small village while traveling through the Central African Republic. The first night was normal. Second night, I woke up around 3 a.m. and couldn't move. At first, I thought it was just sleep paralysis. I've had it before. But this felt different. There was weight on my chest. Heavy, like a child sitting on me. I tried to breathe, but every inhale felt shallow, like something was pressing down harder each time I struggled. Then I heard it, soft giggling, right next to my ear. Not loud, not playful either. It sounded mean. I couldn't see anything clearly in the dark, but I could feel movement, small hands pressing against my chest, shifting slightly like it was adjusting its balance. I forced my eyes to look down. For a split second, I saw an outline, too small to be a person, too solid to be nothing. Then it leaned closer. I felt breath on my face. "Hot, rotten, you're not from here," it whispered. I tried to scream but nothing came out. Then suddenly, it was gone. I shot up, gasping, drenched in sweat. The room was empty. The next morning, I told my aunt. She didn't laugh, she just asked one question. Did you sleep on the bed or the floor? I told her I slept on the mattress. She nodded slowly. Good, she said, it prefers people closer to the ground. I didn't sleep the rest of the trip. Subreddit, country folklore, Chad, the Jinn. The voice that knew my thoughts. I, 21M, was traveling through a quieter area near the edge of the desert in Chad. Nights there feel different. Too quiet, like the world is holding its breath. I was staying in a small guest room behind a family's house. They warned me before I slept. Don't answer if someone calls you outside at night. I assumed it was just safety advice. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to my name being whispered. Not loud, not urgent, just right outside the window. At first, I thought it was one of the family members. But something felt wrong. The voice sounded like me. Same tone, same way of speaking. I stayed still. Then it spoke again. Come outside. You're not scared, are you? I hadn't said anything out loud. My heart started pounding. The voice shifted slightly, like it was moving along the wall. Then it said something that made my stomach drop. I know you're awake. I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to ignore it. Silence. For a few seconds, I thought it was over. Then, a soft knock on the window. 3 taps, exactly the way I knocked. I turned my head slowly. The curtain moved, just a little, like something had brushed against it from the outside. I don't know why, but I got up. Maybe curiosity, maybe something else. I stepped closer to the window. The closer I got, the colder the room felt. I reached out, and just before I touched the curtain, the voice whispered right behind me. Don't open it. I spun around. No one there, but now the voice at the window was gone. The next morning, I told the man who owned the house. He didn't look surprised. Some things copy you, he said. They want you to invite them in, or follow them out. I asked what would have happened if I opened the window. He just shrugged. You wouldn't be asking the question. I kept the window locked every night after that. But once, just once, I heard my own voice again. From outside. Subreddit. Folklore, Congo-Kinshasa Democratic Republic of the Congo, don't sleep close to the floor. I, 17M, was staying with extended family in a crowded house in the DRC. There weren't enough beds, so I slept on a thin mattress on the floor. That was my first mistake. My cousin joked about it before we slept. Don't let anything sit on you, he said, laughing. I didn't ask. That night, I woke up suddenly. No sound, no reason, just awake, and then I felt it. Pressure, right on my chest. At first I thought maybe I was still dreaming, but then my arms wouldn't move. Sleep paralysis. I'd had it before, but this felt heavier, like something was actually there. Then I heard it, soft footsteps, not across the room, on the mattress, right next to me. My breathing got faster, the weight shifted, then settled harder, like it had climbed fully onto my chest. And then, a whisper, right in my ear, you're too close. The voice was small, childlike, but wrong. I forced my eyes downward. For a split second, I saw something crouched on me. Small, dark. Its face wasn't clear, but its eyes were. Too bright, too aware. Then it grinned, and I swear, I saw teeth that didn't belong in something that size. I tried to scream. Nothing came out. The thing leaned closer, and sniffed me. Like it was deciding something. Then suddenly, it jumped off. I gasped and sat up, finally able to move. The room was empty, but the mattress dipped at the foot of it, like something small had just landed there. I didn't sleep again. The next morning, I told my aunt. She didn't look surprised. She just said, that's why we don't sleep on the floor. Subreddit, country folklore, Equatorial Guinea. He never let me see his back. I, 18F, was staying in a coastal town in Equatorial Guinea for a short visit with family. It was one of those places where everyone knows everyone, so when a stranger started talking to me on my walk home, I noticed immediately. He was charming, too charming, perfect smile, calm voice. He spoke like he'd known me for years. I've seen you around, he said. I hadn't seen him before. We walked together for a bit, and I realized something strange. He always positioned himself so I was slightly ahead of him. At first, I thought he was being polite, but every time I slowed down to let him pass, he stopped walking too. Every time I tried to step behind him, he turned, not fully, just enough to keep his back out of view. It started to feel deliberate, so I tested it. I pretended to trip, fell slightly behind him. For a split second, his body twisted unnaturally fast, too fast, and I heard it, a low, guttural sound, not human. He laughed immediately after, like he was covering it up. "You're clumsy," he said. My stomach dropped. We kept walking, but now I noticed more. His shadow didn't match him. Under the streetlight, it looked wrong. Like something hunched. Something with a longer neck than it should have. I stopped walking. "I live here," I lied, pointing at a random house. He stopped too. For the first time, he didn't smile. "You shouldn't lie," he said quietly. Then he leaned slightly closer. Close enough that I could smell something foul under whatever scent he was wearing. Especially not to someone who was walking you home. My heart was racing. I stepped toward the gate, pretending to open it. He didn't move, just stood there, watching me, waiting. I slipped inside and slammed the gate shut. When I looked back, he was gone. No footsteps, no sound, just empty street. But later that night, as I lay in bed, I heard something outside. Slow steps, circling the house. And once, just once, I heard that same low, animal-like sound. Right behind my window. Subreddit. Country folklore. Congo-Brazzaville, Republic of the Congo. It only comes for the lowest bed. I, 19F, was staying in a small house near the outskirts of town while visiting relatives in the Republic of the Congo. There weren't enough beds, so I got the lowest one, a thin mattress laid directly on the floor. Before sleeping, my older cousin said something that stuck with me. "If you feel something climb on you, don't react." I laughed it off. That night, sometime after midnight, I woke up suddenly. No noise, no reason, just a feeling. Then I heard it, a soft tap on the floor beside my mattress. Another one, like small, bare feet, moving slowly around me. I held my breath. The steps stopped right next to my head. Silence. Then, the mattress dipped. Something climbed on. My chest tightened as the weight settled, light at first, then heavier. Too heavy for something that sounded that small. I kept my eyes shut. I remembered what my cousin said. "Don't react." Then it started breathing, close to my face, wet, uneven. I felt something brush against my cheek, like rough skin or hair. Then a whisper, "You heard me walking." I couldn't stop myself. My eyes opened just slightly, and I saw it, small, crouched, its body thin and twisted, but its face looked almost human. Almost. Its eyes were wide, reflecting what little light there was. And it was smiling, too wide. It noticed I was looking. The smile dropped instantly. The room went cold. You weren't supposed to look. The weight on my chest increased suddenly. I couldn't breathe. For a second, I thought that was it. Then, just as fast as it came, it was gone. The pressure lifted. I shot up, gasping. Nothing in the room, but the floor beside my mattress still had faint, damp footprints. I didn't sleep on the floor again. Subreddit. Country folklore. Gabon. He always walked just ahead of me. I, 20M, was staying in a small coastal town in full work. The streets were quiet at night, just trees, ocean wind, and long stretches of empty road. One evening, I left a small shop later than I should have. That's when I noticed him. A man walking in the same direction as me. He looked normal at first, well-dressed, calm posture, hands behind his back. He didn't look back when I approached. He just said, "You're heading home too." I nodded, and somehow we ended up walking together. But something started bothering me. No matter what I did, I could never end up behind him. If I slowed down, he slowed too. If I sped up, he sped up just enough to stay slightly ahead. Always ahead, always just out of reach. At first I thought it was coincidence. Then I tested it. I pretended to stop and tie my shoe. I crouched down and stayed there a bit longer than needed. He paused too, perfectly, like he was waiting. But here's the thing, when I looked up from tying my shoe, I saw his reflection in a parked window. His face was normal, but his back, it wasn't. There was a shape there, not clearly defined, like something layered under his skin, moving independently from his body. Then he turned his head slightly without turning his body. "You shouldn't look like that," he said. I stood up immediately. He started walking again like nothing happened. We reached a fork in the road near my lodging. I pointed toward my street. "This is me here." He nodded slowly. For the first time, I saw his smile drop. "Good," he said. Then he added something quieter. "Because I don't like being followed." He walked away before I could respond. But I swear, when he turned the corner, his shadow stayed behind for a second too long. And it wasn't shaped like a man. Subreddit. Country folklore. Don't follow the voice from the water. I, 19M, was staying near the coast in for a short family visit. The ocean is everywhere there, never far. You can hear it even when you're inside. One night, I couldn't sleep, so I walked down toward the rocks near the shore. That's when I heard it, singing, soft, calm, almost like a lullaby, carried by the water. At first I thought someone was just out late, but there was no one on the beach, just the tide, and the voice kept singing my name. Not loudly, not urgently, like it already knew I would come closer. I stepped onto the sand. The water was unusually still for that time of night. No waves, just a black surface stretching out like glass. Then I saw her, standing waist deep in the water, facing away from me, long hair floating like it wasn't affected by gravity. She didn't turn around, but she spoke directly to me. Come closer. I froze. My first thought was that it was someone playing a prank, but there were no footprints leading into the water except hers, and they didn't behave normally. They just faded. I told myself to leave, but the singing got softer, more familiar. It sounded like someone I knew, someone I missed. That's not real, I whispered. The water rippled slightly, and she laughed, still not turning around. You always say that when you're afraid, she said. My chest tightened. I stepped back, but the sand felt wrong under my feet, like it was pulling slightly toward the water. The voice changed, less human now. Just come closer, it repeated. I can give you what you remember. That's when I noticed something in the water behind her reflection. Something underneath, too large, moving slowly upward. I turned and ran, didn't look back, but I heard the water shift, like something had stepped out after me. And for a long time after that, whenever I went near the shore at night, I still heard someone singing my name from the water, just waiting for me to answer again.